Welcome to the Beyond Leadership podcast, where we host outstanding individuals and we discover new dimensions of leadership and their talents and recipes for success. This is our 14th audio tip of the week. Here are some fun facts about number 14. In Tarot, the number 14 represents temperance and self-control. As we all know, February 14th is St. Valentine's Day. 14 is also the atomic number for silicon. And in golf, a player can have no more than 14 clubs in the bag. In Slovenia, there's 15.1% of people ages between 0 and 14. Now let's start today's tip of the week. In this tip of the week, we look at giving feedback remotely. We all know giving feedback is a great way to improve, to grow, and to learn new things. Delivering constructive feedback is oftentimes nerve-wracking. So how do we give feedback remotely? Today's tip of the week is based on the article Giving Critical Feedback is Even Harder Remotely, written by Houston, published in January 2021 in Harvard Business Review. Giving critical feedback is even harder remotely. When trying to make your coworkers better and to realize their areas where they can grow and improve, we need to provide a constructive feedback. These, though, conversations are even harder to have as multiple crises and their side effects wear on. To top it all off, a change in venue from in-person to remote removes the nuance that can help soften the blow of bad news. Taking a few steps to be more strategic about how you deliver constructive feedback can help prevent negativity bias and a digital venue from distorting how your employees receive your feedback. Here are the 5 tips. Tip number 1. Start by asking questions. Begin your constructive feedback conversation by asking the other person about their perspective. You might ask, "What did you think of that report?" Or even simpler, "How did that go?" You want to learn about their experience and what they think of their work. Tip number 2. Offer appreciation before you offer criticism. In their ongoing research, Leslie John, Alison Wood Brooks, and Jaewon John at Harvard Business School have found through manipulating the order in which participants receive feedback that individuals are more receptive to constructive criticism if they are first told what specifically they did well. Tip number 3. State your good intentions. John has also found that explicitly stating your good intentions goes a long way toward improving how the other person hears bad news. Try, "I'm in your corner," or "I know you're trying to improve your writing and I want to help you get there." Tip number 4. Clarify and contrast. Helen Lewis, the CEO of Pet Builders, a firm that develops women leaders, finds that contrasting statements can bring clarity. After you raised your concern or suggestion, follow it with, "What I mean is," and "What I don't mean is." And final tip, number 5, have the other person state their key takeaways. Save time at the end of the conversation to ask, "What are your top 3 takeaways?" It may feel redundant, but you'll learn if they're taking a negative nosedive, and if so, you can reframe the message. What is your recipe for giving feedback? How do you cope when you receive feedback? This concludes this week's tip of the week. Make sure to subscribe and follow us on all podcast channels like Spotify, Apple, Google, CastBox, and also follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Till next time.